Hey YouTube, Shukun Shinobi here with the review of the Tokumei Sentai Go-Busters Buster Machine FS-0O Frog from the Tokumei Sentai Go-Busters movie in the Tokyo Enetan Tower, whatever it's called. Probably my favorite Buster machine so far because I like frogs a lot. Frogs are neat. I like them. I don't like touching them, but I like frogs. But anyway, so this is a remolded rabbit in the style of a frog. I'll compare the two in a second. About the same size box as Stagjet and the rabbit was, even though I didn't have the rabbit in the little box, but whatever. FS0O Frog. Very odd naming schematic on this one, but FS is Frog sub because he's supposed to be a submarine. Makes Go-BusterKeroOh. We'll show all that off. Shows the current 5 Buster machines and their combinations, and all the little gimmicks there on the back, and Go-BusterKeroOh. So get that out of the way and bring in our absolutely adorable frog. I love this guy. He's so adorable, and the fact that he doesn't really have anywhere to go on my display besides just being a frog, I actually enjoy because he's adorable. Kind of looks like a derp, but he's an adorable derp, in my opinion, anyway. So this is his Buster Animal mode. He doesn't particularly do too much in this mode. He can sort of pretend to hop around, if you want to get imaginative. The turret, or the missile launcher up here, up on his back, does rotate and locks in those 2 positions. You can see the helmet for Caro up there. Turbines on the back do not move. They don't spin or anything like that. These missiles up here can fire with the assistance of your finger. Really wish they could have put in a button, but I don't particularly mind this all that much. You can see they don't really go too far. Hence why I wish there was a button. They tend to launch a little further. The little missiles have little eyes on them. They kind of look like tadpoles. In fact, the entire missile kind of looks like a tadpole. So that's kind of cool, I think. Go ahead and pop those back in, and never speak of that again. He also has one more gimmick that they use in the film. Open up his mouth, and he's got a little tongue, and it can pull out, and it's like a boxing glove. So that's kind of neat. Not sure why they bothered with that, but he needed a little gimmick, and I think that's a pretty cool one in my opinion. So that just folds right back up. A spring would have been pretty cool to open it and it goes boom and springs out. But I think I'm asking too much for a fairly cheap little Buster machine. So that's all for this mode. You can pet him if you want to. It's a good frog. But anyway, so to get to the Buster machine mode, or the Buster vehicle mode, I said this was Buster vehicle. No, I didn't. I said it was Buster Animal. I did it right. To get to the Buster vehicle mode, there's multiple things you can do. You can also pose these legs back, so it kind of looks like he's kind of swimming along. So you can do something like that. But there is a way to get to the wheels. You can flip these out and then flip these back, just like you would on the rabbit, and then lock in place. This gives him wheels. So you can kind of wheel him around like that, but as you can see, it doesn't sit flat. So what you have to do is pop this off and bring it down a notch, and then he can roll comfortably. This is basically the submarine mode, is this configuration right here. There's really nothing too much to it besides that. So he can sub around, and it's got the same exact features with the mouth and the missiles. So rolls pretty nice. I like him. I like him in frog mode better though. Just looks a lot cooler. So we'll go ahead and pop this back in. Get him back into frog mode. And compare him with the rabbit. So here is RH03. And as you can see, they are the same exact mold. This base piece is almost the same, if we take off the head right there. In fact, if you strip it down to basically the bare bones pieces. We're going to have to do this for Caro anyway, so you strip it down right down to the bare bones pieces. You can see that they are 100% identical in molding. Same exact thing, just the pieces that they used are alternated. So yeah, good old repainting and adding new pieces. Speaking of new pieces, the face has the Buddyroid on the back and Enetan. Apparently it's a she. I don't know, I haven't seen the movie, but that's what people were telling Dawson, so I learned. But yeah, really cute. Like he said in his review, I really hope that they end up making a vinyl of Enetan. I highly doubt they will, considering it would have been out by now if they were going to. But it's just so tiny and adorable, and I want to hug it, or her, whatever. So cute. I just love frogs. That's why I like Sergeant Frog so much. Good old Caro. But whatever. So anyway, on to Go-BusterKeroOh, which I think is a pretty fun name. But the only thing left to do is to flip these pieces out, because they're going to make little claws. Fling the other one across the review station, because that's how we do things here. And make sure you pop off the helmet for Caro. And that is all. So we'll go ahead and split those apart. Forget that was a piece. Makes one of the arms. And as you note, they do have hands. The hands won't be used in Caro's formation, but they're still there from the rabbit mold. They didn't bother replacing them with anything. So you got two hands, and then this piece is just going to basically do the same exact thing as the rabbit and just kind of spread out like that. So now we bring in Go-BusterOh, or most of it, or Ace with some gorilla pieces or whatever. Alright, so we fit just enough of him in the camera frame to show this off properly. So basically start with Go-BusterOh, strip off all of the rabbit pieces, and remove the Gorisaki and Cheetah Nick little header things. So you have what you see right here. So take this piece. This is going to go ahead and sit right back here as it would normally. Just like that. Then never to be seen from again. The rabbit piece, the frog piece is going to fit where Gorisaki was. It's a tighter fit than Gorisaki, so it might take a little bit of wiggling. So now you got the frog staring at you. Take the arm pieces, and as you can see, this one is going to connect like this. Other way. Need the right one. That'd be helpful. Connect right there. So that makes one arm, and while we're at it, we'll go ahead and attach the missile pod piece right there, and that will go right there to make that arm. Then over here, attach this one in the same manner, just like that. Attach that arm, and then the helmet piece is going to go on right there, and now we have Go-BusterKeroOh. Got a little bit more of him up there. Just this little scuba mask part. So yeah, this is Caro. Pretty cool. It's basically what you would get for Go-BusterOh if there was a Green Ranger instead of a Yellow Ranger, and it was a frog instead of a rabbit. But pretty nice, I think. It's a little bit disappointing that you have to remove the two little Buddyroid header parts, because I like it when you can use all of the little pieces. But anyway, it's still pretty nice. You got the turbine fists right there, because it's going to shoot you, and turbine wind and stuff. It does make the arms a little bit longer than Go-BusterOh, because you have the turbine pieces on there instead of just the fists. So you have to keep that in mind as well. These back hands you can, I think, maybe, no, you can't fit it, never mind. I thought maybe you could fold those up, but just keep those back there. Like I said, you do still have the missile launching feature as well. On this one, you just have to point it accordingly. So we'll go ahead and just do that. So, yeah, really cool. I do like the way it looks. I'm not going to say it's the greatest thing ever, but I don't know, for some reason I like it more than the one with the rabbit. I think it's because I'm biased towards the frog, and I do like the red, blue, and green combination. I think that's fairly original and unique. Plus the missile pod is always neat as well. So yeah, I really like the frog. Is it a must get? No, it doesn't really do anything that the rabbit doesn't do for you. You can just use the frog pieces to make like a great Go-BusterKeroOh or something. You can do that. Some of the pieces obviously don't work exactly right, like the helicopter fin of rabbit wouldn't be put on the chest because the rabbit wasn't there and there is no piece to replace that. I guess you can maybe attach, no, you can't even do that. So yeah, you can make a figuration with it, but it just doesn't look as good as it does with the rabbit. So with that being said, if you have these two or you have the components of Go-BusterOh, it's a fun little thing to add a little bit of playability to the Buster machines, then by all means pick them up. I really do like it. I am biased towards frogs and green, but it's really neat. But like I said, if you haven't seen the movie, you don't care for it, it's not a necessary pickup. It won't be necessary for any of the Megazord combinations. So you really don't need it, but I think it's a pretty nice pickup, and it does add a little bit of playability to these guys. I like it, I recommend it, but it's certainly not a must-own. So you can check out ShukenShobi.com for latest updates on my reviews and hauls, and of course check out RidersRangersandRebels.com, bringing the latest token news in the craziest way possible. So take care, have a great one, bye.